Hello, everyone. Today I am here at Everything Just Rocks for the full moon tarot reading that we're going to do for February 22, February 16th. We have a Leo full moon today. I am really excited about this full moon. I feel like there's a freshness that might be because of Mars and Venus being conjunct with this full moon. So just a little preface before we get into the tarot. Leo is all about the sovereign self. It is associated with the solar plexus chakra. It's about courage, our right to take action at the right time, our willpower. It's also about our identity and our persona, or what I like to think of as varying personas that we have within the sovereign self. And then we have Venus and Mars, which are conjunct. And Venus is the planet of sensuality. It's a planet that's associated with wealth and beauty, the sacred feminine. And then we have Mars, which is more associated with the sacred masculine. And it's more about that primal sexual drive. It's about passion. It's also very much about action. In its more darker, shadowy aspects, it's also associated with war. And when these two are conjunct, it's like we have like the marriage of the sacred masculine and the sacred feminine. And I just want to say that when I'm speaking about the sacred masculine and feminine, I am speaking in terms more of energetics than I am about sexuality or gender. And we all have these masculine and feminine aspects within us. And so I am seeing this personally as an opportunity for us to create like another level of wholeness, or at least another awareness of our own innate wholeness, as these two energies of Mars and Venus coming together, unifying within underneath this umbrella of the full moon in Leo, which is all about know thyself. And know thyself and take action that's in alignment with that awareness and knowledge. So I'm really excited to see what the tarot might have to say as far as like how we can best use these energies to serve our best and highest good. So let's take a look. Okay, so setting that intention, what do we need to know or do to serve our best and highest good in relationship to this full moon in Leo and the various planetary aspects associated with it? Well, that just popped out of the deck. That's always kind of exciting. All right, let's take a look here. All right, so first I want to give acknowledgement to the card that just popped out of the deck, and it popped out picture side up, and that was Ten of Swords reversed. Ooh, guys, like I'm going to get to what the other cards are saying as well, but this to me is something that's really positive. When the Ten of Swords is reversed, it can be an indication that it's time to let go of past hurts, past betrayals, past disappointments. I almost see these swords that are in this man's back as being like tethers or energetic cords that have been anchors, that have been binding us up, binding our energy up. And when it's reversed, it's time for those swords to fall out. It's time to forgive, first and foremost, ourselves, because that can be the hardest thing about forgiveness, right? And to move on. Now, when I talk about forgiveness, especially when there's situations that are really triggering, that have really cut us deep, there can automatically be kind of this like knee-jerk resistance to, nope, that person doesn't deserve my forgiveness, or that situation was too much to forgive. And when I speak about forgiveness, the way that I view it is that forgiveness is about myself taking a stance that I will not stay another person or another situation's victim anymore. Because when we're in that state of forgiveness, we're binding our own energy up with, and even if we totally have the right to be angry and maybe something that just absolutely atrocious happened, to stay in that anger means that I'm also staying in the victimhood of that situation. So forgiveness is a power move. And we can really use Mars and Venus together to help us with these kind of transitions where we can say, you know what, I don't condone the actions of that person. No, that wasn't okay. And at the same time, I'm going to choose to bring back my own energy. You can do you, I do me. It doesn't mean that I have to have a relationship with that person or that situation. It doesn't mean that I have to try to go back to the way things were. It means that I'm free. Forgiveness is about claiming our sovereignty and our freedom. So there might be some real work around this of like letting go of past resentments, past regrets. It can even be forgiving ourselves for something that we might perceive as a failure, or shortcoming, whatever it might be. What I'm seeing in all of the cards here is freedom. It's an invitation for wholeness and freedom, which brings me to the second card, which is Eight of Cups. Eight of Cups is about moving on. And the Eight of Cups is very much about like giving it another go. Giving it another go as far as moving forward. With the Ten of Swords and the Eight of Cups, what I'm feeling is that there might have been some times recently where we tried to move on and maybe it didn't work. Or we tried to, make whatever adjustments or overcome whatever challenges, and we've been slowed down. And what the Eight of Cups is saying is like, it's time, my friend. And the one thing too that is really kind of popping up as being important as far as like the imagery in this card is this man's staff. What kind of support do you need to move on? Do you need to reach out for assistance? Do you need to have a conversation with a friend? Do you need the support of a loved one or a counselor or some other practitioner? What is it that you need to move on? And knowing that moving on, it doesn't have to be a race. It can be one step at a time. And that's been kind of a theme for a lot of these tarot readings from other lunar alignments, is like this whole concept of one foot in front of another. That right now we may not be like the Chariot card where we're just busting out of the gate. This may be kind of the long game. So that's okay, because we're building a new foundation. Whatever new awareness you're having, whatever you might have some aha moments, the changes that you are making and or intending to make, they probably have a much bigger ramification than you may even know. And that gets into the next card that I'm going to talk about here in a second. We have the Four of Pentacles, which is all about new foundation. It's also about conserving resources. And the resource that's coming to my mind here that's really important is conserving our energy. So where are you devoting your time and energy the most, and is in alignment to what fulfills you and where it is that you want to go? So for example, if I'm trying to create more work-life balance and I'm noticing though that I'm slipping into workaholism and I'm not spending any time on my home or with my family, then that would mean that there is an incongruency with how I'm investing my time and resources to produce the kind of foundation that I'm wanting to create, or vice versa. So it's really aware of how it is that we are devoting our time and resources in order to move ahead appropriately. And the Empress. the Empress card comes up, and the Empress card is to me, she's one of the most powerful cards in the deck. It's said that the Empress underneath the robes is actually pregnant. She is the great mother. She is the great creatrix, and she is gestating new life, gestating new beginnings, new ideas, new. She's creating, she's manifesting something new. And so this isn't just about the law of attraction. This is about attracting the resources that you want. And when we're in alignment with what it is that we need, we have an easier time doing that. And then as we receive what it is that we need, being very conscientious about how we use those resources, how we use that support in order to gestate and eventually birth that which we need, want, and love. The other thing that's very interesting to me about the Empress card is that she is associated with the planet Venus. We can see right here, we have the feminine sign. She is associated with the sacred feminine. She is the sacred feminine. And there is also with Venus, one of the things that's very important is the concept of beauty. And this has also been something that I have very much been exploring in my own life, is the concept of beauty and how beauty can heal the soul and refresh the spirit when we're feeling overwhelmed, burnt out, energetically thin, stagnant. Go enjoy some beauty, whether or not it's just going and spending some time out in nature, or creating an art project, or going to a museum, or being with a person that we find lovely inside and out. Connect with beauty as a way to help replenish the soul, open the heart, and refresh the spirit. And that, in and of itself, I think that whole using beauty as a way to help us heal is very much the energy of Mars and Venus coming together, because the beauty would be the sacred feminine, but the action and the dedication needed to actually follow through on that action and to go seek out that which we find beautiful in order to bring us joy and to bring us healing would very much be a Mars kind of energy. And we can see just in this one little example here that's kind of organically come up in this reading, that doing so, it would make sense that it would bring like a whole new wholeness, a reconnection with that sacred self. Because at the end of the day, when we awaken and nurture both the sacred masculine and the sacred feminine within ourselves, and those two energies are balanced, we will inevitably find that we feel more fulfilled, more joyful, and more whole in general. So, to summarize, we're attracting what it is that we need by being aware and dedicated to those resources that we need, whether or not it's more time, it's an influx of wealth, friendship, whatever it might be. Attracting what it is that we need. Also being dedicated to letting go and forgiving in the past. And when we do that, we will automatically be building a new foundation. And then we will gestate a new beginning. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate you all. And I look forward to seeing you guys back here in a couple weeks when we do the new moon reading. This Friday, February 18th from noon to 6, I'm going to be here at Everything Just Rocks in Tempe, Arizona. I will be giving my event rate, which you get to save $30 on an hour reading. If you're needing some in-person one-on-one clarity and assistance, This will be my second to my last one on March 4th. I will be my last in-person event here for a while. Because I'm going to be dedicating more of my time and resources. See how that worked in there? Like being aware of how we're dedicating our time and resources to a new podcast called The Whole You. And I'm really excited because I'm going to be able to share some things that I really haven't been able to share publicly. So stay tuned for that. That's coming out in the next week or two, as well as some of my artwork. So if you are looking to get an in-person reading this Friday, hit me up at info@bethewholeyou.com. As well as I will also be doing virtual readings for the rest of the month as well. So just give me a jingle if you are in need of assistance. Otherwise, I look forward to seeing you all back here in a couple weeks. I hope that you are refreshed and replenished and nurtured, and that you find all of the clarity and the up-leveling of that sovereign self over the next couple weeks. Take care.